Hey crew, so today I wanted to cover my favorite Solar Titan build, and this is by far my favorite one for pretty much any content I play in Destiny 2, except for Grandmasters. The gameplay you are watching is a 1350 Master Lost Sector, where we one-shot these champions with our fusion grenades, and I'm going to show the full clear here in a second, where we clear it in about 2.5 minutes. But I also wanted to show you what it looks like in your normal content as well, because it's a blast, as our fusion grenade and hammer combo together spawns us 6 solar wells total, which is just so much fun to see. I really enjoy it. There will also be a couple mod substitutions you can make so it fits whatever content you're jumping into better, and I really think you guys will enjoy this video, and you'll enjoy this gameplay loop if you give it a shot. Now, the changes to fusion grenades are actually a buff in a lot of different ways. We got a 73-second cooldown instead of an 82-second cooldown at tier 3 discipline. So if you go up to tier 100 discipline, you actually get this grenade back in 28 seconds. So it's the quickest, one of the quickest grenades in the game now. I think it's like third on the list to come back as far as how fast we get it back. And then we get increased damage versus PvE combatants by 15%. It also sticks to all surfaces now. And then the only bad thing was it was reduced tracking strength by 25%. Now, we don't care about the tracking because of the exotic we're using, so we're good there. We have infinite grenades with this build and melee, and it's some of the most fun I've had playing a Titan in a long time. If you are new to the channel and found this video helpful or enjoyable, then hit that subscribe button for me and become part of the crew here. Also, for my regular viewers, if you could let the video play out till the end, that really helps the channel out, so thank you so much if you do so. I really appreciate it. There will be a full build pick in the video for you guys to screenshot, with the alternate mods you can use as well. And if you haven't joined the Discord, then join up to get access to the entire builds picks and dim links channel for all my different builds I do. The link is down in the description and the pinned comment. Now, we're basically taking advantage of one thing from Middle Tree Sunbreaker here, and that's Roaring Flames. Kills with your solar abilities increase those abilities damage, and this stacks up to 3 times. This buff of Roaring Flames lasts 20 seconds, so it's very easy to keep up. Like, I can't stress this enough. It's one of the easiest gameplay loops I've ever played. You literally get a solar ability kill in 20 seconds, and you keep this buff up. And remember, our grenade comes back in 28 seconds alone, so you can see where we're going with this. Now, any weapons that have Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie are great with this build. You'll always have that bonus to the weapon damage, and if you, for whatever reason, need some grenade energy, Demolition helps with that. But as you can see in the gameplay, we don't even shoot our weapons. I think we use our heavy in the 1350 Master Lost Sector, and literally that's it. So weapons, not necessarily, you know, what you need to focus on, but just wanted to throw that out there. Now for the exotic of choice, we're not using Synthoceps or Worm Gods. Nope, we're using Ashen Wakes. So the perk on here is Bring the Heat. Fusion grenades now explode on impact and gain increased throw speed, so we have fastball built into it as well. And Final Blows with the fusion grenade grants grenade energy. This grenade energy is based on the amount of enemies you kill and also how difficult those enemies are. So basically, if you're just talking about a normal red bar, you would need to kill 4 enemies with your fusion grenade to get a full refund of your fusion grenade. If you want half your fusion grenade, then you need to kill 2, right? That's basically how it works. But if you do kill, like in the Lost Sector, a champion, you instantly get the grenade back because he's considered a more difficult enemy. Or like the regular Lost Sector I did when we killed the yellow bar witch that spawns in, that also gives us our full grenade back. So you can see the different areas that gives us the full grenade back. And then we're substituting a bunch of mods into this build to make sure, 1, we always have a grenade, whether we kill 1 enemy, 2 enemy, 3 enemy, 4 enemy, doesn't matter. And then also a bunch of survivability. And then another damage boost at the end. So for our helmet, we're rocking double Ashes to Assets, so we get a bunch of super energy on grenade kills. And then we're also running a Bountiful Wells. Elemental Well mods that cause you to spawn Elemental Wells can now stack, spawning additional wells for each additional copy of the mod you have equipped. So I'll get a lot of questions on Bountiful Wells. Bountiful Wells, if you have 1 Elemental Ordnance on, so when you throw your grenade, kill an enemy, that spawns a well because of Elemental Ordnance. If you have 1 Elemental Ordnance on, because of Bountiful Wells, that mod will now spawn 2 wells. I know it's worded a little bit different here, but just to clarify that, it spawns 2. So Bountiful Wells is on the helmet. On our gauntlets, they're solar. We have Impact Induction, causing damage with the melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. And we also have Explosive Well Maker. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. So if we get a double, triple, you know, quadruple kill with our fusion grenade, that's also spawning wells because of Explosive Well Maker. And then we have Melee Wellmaker. Powered melee combatants' final blows spawn elemental wells matching your subclass energy type. This is on our chest piece. And then we have Elemental Ordnance on the boots. Defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. So we have 3 different ways of spawning wells, and Bountiful Wells doubles all 3 of these. So every time you throw a grenade and kill 2 enemies, you're spawning 4 solar wells. And then every time you throw your hammer, you're spawning 2 solar wells. And you're also proccing impact induction. So the gameplay loop here is chuck a fusion grenade, throw your hammer, or if you get your full fusion grenade refund, you just keep throwing fusion grenades. But as you can see in the gameplay, you're literally never out of abilities, like any abilities, and they're strong abilities because of Roaring Flames ×3. You're also creating a ton of solar wells, and then on our class item, we have Well of Life. Picking up a solar elemental well grants increased regeneration for a short period of time. So we basically have constant healing all the time because of Well of Life, and this is what I run in easier content. And then if you're going into harder content, so let's say like a 1350 Master Lost Sector, and you need a little more survivability, you will drop Elemental Ordnance and Explosive Wellmaker. So drop those 2 well generating mods and throw in Elemental Charge. So we become charged with light when picking up a solar well, and Protective Light. So every time your shields break, you get that resistance damage. That means in harder content, the only way you are spawning a well is Melee Wellmaker. That's how you get everything rolling. So when you enter into any type of content that's a little harder, throw your hammer right away and make sure to grab that well, because that well is what is proccing Well of Life and proccing Protective Light and starting that whole chain of events as far as that goes in harder content. So remember that. That's your only way of spawning a well in harder content. Your grenade won't spawn anymore when you drop those 2 mods for the 2 damage reduction mods. And then also on your class item, we have Withering Heat. Causing damage with a solar ability weakens champions for a short duration. So basically, when we throw our hammer at a champion and stun them, like these overloads that you see, they have Withering Heat debuff on them as well, and that adds to the fusion grenade damage. Not that it's necessarily needed, but it allows us to easily one-shot them. And as you can see, like, even when we don't have this buff, when we used it on Carl in the Lost Sector, or we used it on the Lost Sector boss, like, you can see how much damage it does with just Roaring Flames ×3. So it's definitely not, 100% needed. So that's the only artifact mod we're taking advantage of. And the thing I like about this build is it's going to be this good or even better in the future, no matter what, with or without artifact mods, right? Artifact mods will only make it better, and Solar 3.0 will probably only make it better when we get to that in like 6 or 9 months from now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it helpful. It's one of my favorite builds in the game, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I normally don't just cover, my personal favorites, but this is literally one of my personal favorites, and I really enjoy it. And a couple of my clanmates use this all the time now because they just enjoy that gameplay loop a little bit more than just always throwing the hammer with Synthoceps or Worm Gods. So I figured you guys would like it. If you give it a try, I know you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching my content. I appreciate it. We're closing in. I think we actually passed 65,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. If you are still watching this video and listening, I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. It means the world to me that you watch my content and that you keep watching it. There's a couple videos up here on screen. If you haven't seen them, make sure to give them a watch. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. If you have any questions, send them to me over on Discord, and I should be able to answer them for you. Have a great rest of your day.